our next guest is going to tell us that there's a lot more to invest in when it comes to green tech startups. So let's get into this. Let's head to Canoga Park, California. Check in with Matthew Mills, President and Chief Operating Officer at MedX. Hey, Matt, nice to have you here with Jason and myself, at least on the phone here. Tell me a little bit about what kinds of companies you're investing in when it comes to the green tech space.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all, and we're lucky enough to be one of the fastest-paced crowdfunding projects on the planet right now. We've had regular Americans investing in our project at $420 for 700 shares for a little over 2 years now. We've raised $3.8 million. We're a fully operational company, and regular Americans took us to the next level. So we're disrupting the pest control industry as well as the pain management industry that the pharmaceutical companies and obviously large chemical companies have been in control of for many years. Very unique situation. Our company, MedX, has been around since 2014, and we've been very fortunate to grow to a fully operational company, and now pacing ourselves and aspiring to list on an exchange in the next 12 to 24 months.
And so, Matthew, tell us how this was obviously spurred in part by the Jobs Act that really opened up, that was passed under President Obama. It really opened up the possibility for these types of investments that were, really limited for many, many years to accredited investors. What types of investors are you getting onto this platform, if you can generalize for us?
Well, yeah, we're getting all types of investors. If you're over the age of 18 and you make, $18,000 a year or more, you can invest at the minimum level. But we've got, people that are, at the blue collar level, all the way up to, investors investing $500,000. It's a pretty incredible thing, and I get a real rush out of seeing, regular Americans that wouldn't be able to invest in things like this, being able to get involved and, calling into the company. I love talking to some of these people. It's a real neat thing. And the Jobs Act, we studied it as it was rolling out, and we were actually the second company in the country to get qualified by the SEC to use the new Regulation A+ crowdfunding initiative. So it's been quite a rush. There's been a learning curve, but we've been lucky enough to challenge through that learning curve and run through the obstacle course, and now we've got, again, a fully operational company.
What's interesting, what struck me, your first response, you talked about, kind of the end game is to list on an exchange. And I find that interesting to hear that from you. You're crowdfunding, you're getting this going off the ground, but we're living, Jason and I talk to people all the time, we're living in this environment where there's so much money sloshing around for startups that it's not usually necessary to go public. So I find it interesting that's your end game. How come?
Well, because we've done something that's a little different. We're going to compete in an area, the green scene is an area where a lot of these big chemical companies and pharmaceutical companies really don't want companies like us to exist. So I'm here to build a business that is going to, and our plan is to acquire multiple green scene companies and build our platform and build a billion-dollar business. You really can't do that on the private side the way we are. I mean, it's taken us, 2 solid years of this crowdfunding initiative to get to this almost $3.8 million. So we do have an engagement with an investment banker now. We are moving the company forward and planning some roll-ups and have new products launching. So in order for us to really get the big traction and really get to the next level, we're going to need to find, one, a liquidity point for our investors, but also the ability for the larger scale investors to come and inject large scale capital so we can really push out our plan of acquiring other companies, rolling out our products, marketing worldwide, as our products are starting to get worldwide traction, which is pretty interesting for a company that's only a few years old.
All right, good to check in with you. Matthew Mills, President and Chief Operating Officer of MedX, on the phone, on a cell phone from Canoga Park, California. You are listening to Bloomberg Business Week. I'm Carol Masser along with Jason Kelly.